Hi there. I want to talk to you about drinking and especially about how to drink less. If you're feeling even a little bit out of control with your drinking, it can be pretty scary because everything you've heard says that the only solution is to quit forever, never touch this stuff again. And maybe you've tried to cut back and you've had a hard time with it, and so you wonder if those people are right. But you don't want to quit. You don't want to make that big of a change to your life, to your social life, for example, and you just wish there were a different alternative. Well, there is. I can tell you for a fact that moderation is a possibility, is an achievable thing for many people. And this is what I do. My name is Greg. I'm a life coach, and I help people take control of their drinking so that it becomes easy for them to drink moderately. My story is that I drank every day for 30 years. I started drinking beer in high school, partied hard through college, and my daily habit started once I got into the work world. I got into craft beer in the 90s and the 2000s, became a home brewer, so I had that additional excuse or that interest in drinking. And like I say, it was a daily thing, 3 or 4 beers during the day, during the week, and a party every weekend. But I finally came to a point I realized that it was holding me back in life, that this drinking was keeping me from getting what I wanted. I didn't have the marriage that I wanted. My business wasn't successful in a way that I felt like it could be. And I didn't like how I felt physically, and I didn't like how I looked. What I realized is that alcohol holds us back in several ways. Some of them are pretty obvious. The fact that it depletes your physical energy and your mental and emotional energy. It sucks up a hell of a lot of time, and it crushes your confidence. But there's a more insidious effect, and that's that it creates an illusion of satisfaction and contentment that causes you just to sort of settle for things that if you had to face the reality of them, you'd probably take some action and you'd do something about them. So it's definitely a problem worth solving. Drinking less is better than drinking more. In this video, I'm going to give you a quick overview of my approach, which enables people to solve their drinking issue in about 2 months. The basic premise is that every day you'll make a written plan for how much you intend to drink the next day. This plan takes into account the day of the week, whether it's the weekend or not, maybe your social plans, and any other thing that's relevant to you. It's your plan. I provide a worksheet where you state the quantity, but more than that, this worksheet's got some questions which cause you to introspect into and evaluate what's going to be your state of mind before you drink, during drinking, what are going to be the obstacles you may face to stick with your plan. And so this act of writing down your intention and doing this kind of research into yourself, this thinking about drinking, is really powerful. The thing is, though, you'll screw it up. You won't do it right the first time. And the process counts on that. This is not some ivory tower thing where it just expects that you're going to come in and all of a sudden adopt this habit of planning and stick to it. I fully expect that you won't do it right. You might start off planning for the first week and do it for 4 days and then let it drop. And then once over time you actually do make the planning habit, there are going to be times that you plan a certain amount of drinking and you go over your plan. So as I said, failure is the key to this. We expect it, we count on it, and we use that failure to figure out what's going on, to figure out why you drink, to get the insight that you need so that you can then develop strategies specific to your situation so that you stop making those failures. The key is in how we approach failure. Our normal tendency is to beat ourselves up, to call ourselves names, to think of ourselves as a loser, and to use our failures as just confirmation that, yeah, we won't be able to do this thing. But if instead you'll look at failure with curiosity instead of judgment, you'll be able to figure out what's going on, figure out why you didn't follow through with your commitments. And when you find those specific whys, you can develop a strategy to deal with them. I want to talk about a client, an example of a client where we've used this approach. So he had made a plan to drink 5 drinks over the course of an evening. And in the end, he drank, I think, 7 or 8. And he realized that his problem was pacing. Rather than drink the 5 and then have to go without for a few hours, he could have spread those 5 out. So I said, why not? Why didn't you pace? Or how can you pace differently next time? And we identified that his obstacle is being worried about disappointing others. That when people offer him a drink, he wants to accept it. He sees that as camaraderie, as relationship building. And his big fear was that if he didn't accept someone's offer of a drink, that they would be disappointed. So we could dig into that. And I asked him, do you think those people really would be disappointed if you said no? And he said, really, actually not. And he could actually think of some ways how that could be a good thing. Maybe these people are looking for him to say no so that they don't feel compelled to drink so much. But we dug a little bit further. What if they were disappointed? I asked him, would you be willing to disappoint these people in order to be true to yourself, to reach your goals, and to live the kind of life that you want? And he figured that he would. So it's a specific example, and by seeing what went wrong and thinking about it and analyzing it and deciding how he would want to think about the situation in the future, we can set himself up so that the next time he does pace himself properly. So there's all sorts of examples of this that come up, and a lot of these you can figure out on your own if you try this process using the materials I provide. But this is where coaching can be really valuable, to kind of dig in, to ask the right questions, to give you some alternate ways to look at the situation so that it becomes easy to make the different, better decisions in the future. So that's the process. It sounds simple, and it is, but there's a lot of thought and experience behind it. As I've said, the key is to break down that big abstract problem of drinking too much into small problems, which are solvable, for which you can develop concrete solutions, concrete ways to approach the situation differently so that it becomes easy to say no. At the bottom of this webpage, there's a link to some printed materials, the process description and the worksheets that I use, so you can try this on your own if you want. However, if you're in a hurry to go from feeling out of control to becoming someone who consistently follows through on his commitments to himself, then the very best thing you can do right now is to schedule a free call with me. We'll talk about your specific situation. I'll show you exactly why it is you're drinking out of control, and I'll give you some specific steps that you can take to start to change your situation. If in the call you're interested in working with me, if what I have to say seems useful but you'd like some help with it, I'll talk about the details of my program and the pricing and so on, and you can make a decision as to whether this is the right approach for you. Whether you decide to hire me or not, you'll leave the call feeling inspired and confident that there is a solution to your problem, that you have at least a basic understanding of what it is, and you know what you can do to get started. All right, I want to thank you for watching this video. I'd love to see you on a call soon, and I wish you a great day.